everybody. I am just logging in for a really quick update. I had a great day. I went to school today and taught my girls. Today, I focused on life timelines with them as a way of teaching them about marketing and how to share their stories with the hopes of finding sponsors. And of course, showing up as your authentic self is always the way to go. So we just spoke about, how to be vulnerable and share sometimes things that are really difficult to talk about with people that you may not know, with the hopes that it will be able to provide some support and access for them. So I shared my life story with them today. It was funny because if you know me, you know that I haven't always had the easiest experiences, but they were my experiences, right? And I have taken even the most difficult things in my past and learned from them, grown from them, and all of those things make us who we are. So after I shared my life story, one young lady said, "Can we stop and pray for her? We need to pray for the teacher," which I thought was super sweet, that they wanted to stop and pray for me and my life. So that was really nice. Some of them shed a couple of tears. But again, it's part of our journey. And I know this exercise can be extremely challenging for people to do, especially if you're doing it well and being transparent in the moments that you choose to share. But it's also um, very healing. So tomorrow, the girls will start sharing out some of their life stories, their life timelines, and see how it goes. I'll definitely update you on that. And the other thing we really spoke about today was, I only have the remainder of this week, and technically I'm supposed to wrap up with them on Wednesday, but I think I'm going to stay on until Friday with them. So I just wanted to get feedback from them on what they felt were the most important topics that they wanted me to cover with them. And so things like money management came up, um, pricing of products came up. So we're going to do some things around financing and budgeting for them. One of them, I think she just wants a cake, but she said she wants me to teach them how to cook. And I said, "Well, what do you want me to teach you how to cook?" And she said, "A cake." So I am going to bake a cake with them on my last day. So that should be a fun way to kind of wrap up. And one of the things I'm also planning to do is host some type of a special lunch for them, because in all of the days that I've been there, there's only been one day that they've been able to have food. They only get food at school if a a donation is made, and since no one has donated funds for their lunch, they actually go the entire day. They get there at about 9 a.m., 8:30, 9 a.m., and they're there until 4 p.m. And I would, again, I've been there for 2 weeks. They've only eaten once of that one day out of that 2 weeks. So I do definitely want to do a nice lunch for them at some point before I leave. Um, the other thing that happened today, last week I did home visits where we go in and bring food for families who do not have meals. And I had hoped to do several of them this week. And my plan was to do about four a week, every week until I leave. And I had done some fundraising before coming to Tanzania with family and friends who made some donations, and that was one of the things I wanted to use those funds for. But one of the concerns I had with the way we ran the home visits last week, where there were nine of us showing up to one individual's home, I felt like it was a bit intrusive. We're all trying to fit inside a very small home. And I felt for the women who we were visiting, it was a little bit embarrassing for some of them. So I really felt we should do it in small groups, and I wanted to organize doing it in small groups. And the organization that I was working with said they would charge me 80,000 shillings for driving us to the location, when initially they said there was no cost to take us to do the home visits. We just had to provide the meals. The meals are 80,000 shillings. So to me, paying them 80,000 to just drop me there um, really was taking food out of a family's mouth and didn't feel like the right thing to do, especially when they already have drivers on staff and vehicles on site that are available. It just didn't seem right that they would capitalize on this opportunity. So I've decided that I'm not going to do the home visits with them. At one point, I just said I'm not going to do them at all. But I think that is kind of like cutting off your nose to spite your face, because the person who's really going to suffer are the families who are going to go without meals. So through Perfect Vision, the school where I'm volunteering at, they also do a similar program of the home visits. So tomorrow, myself and one other volunteer, Tammy, we're going to do some home visits together. Together, we've put our money together, and we're going to do six homes, six packages, and we will still have to pay for the transportation. But it's one thing to pay for the transportation because there's no vehicle available, and so we have to hire a driver. But when there's a driver already on staff and a vehicle already on site, it just seemed like they were capitalizing on this opportunity, which felt wrong to me. So hopefully all will go well with tomorrow's home visits. And the other thing that I did today, which was fabulous, I went to the spa here. One of my students had told me in advance that every opportunity I got to have a spa service, that I needed to get it. And so one of the volunteers over the weekend went to go get her lashes done. And she told me about, her experience, and her lashes look beautiful. And she said they do manicures and they also do massages there. So I had her give me the information, and myself and Tammy, we took a tuk-tuk there and we went, and I got a pedicure, and I got a special pedicure. I got, like, one of those fancy spa pedicures with the parfum and everything. And I also got a Swedish massage. First of all, when we get a pedicure back home, I feel like it's 15, 20 minutes, you're in and you're out, right? You probably spend more time drying your toenails than you do getting the actual pedicure. Nope. My pedicure was about an hour and a half service. And then my massage was 90 minutes. It was so good. And guess how much I paid? $43. The pedicure alone in the US would have cost me $60. So $43 is a steal. I definitely will be going back again before I come home. But I was super excited that I was able to go to the spa today and get a pedicure and a massage, and it only cost me $43. So that was great. And then I had dinner with two of the volunteers who live here at the hotel with me. So that's always a good time. Tammy, my friend who I've been doing a lot of my social activities with, we went to the Maasai tour together. We went for our pedicures today together. She is leaving on Thursday. She was here for 2 weeks, and Thursday will wrap up her second week. So I'm a little bit sad that she's leaving. That's been my buddy throughout this process. But I'm sure everything will be fine. It has been such a pleasure getting to know her, and definitely somebody that I will be keeping in touch with. But that is my update for today, short and sweet, like I promised. And I will speak to everyone again soon.